Hopefully we cut out the sound.
Welcome to Emerald Coast Fabrication, Northwest Florida's premier provider of luxurious finishes. My name is Jared and
And I'm Suzy Despard. And today we're going to do a marble torture test.
While marble is one of the most luxurious finishes that homeowners seek, reservations still exist.
So today we're going to try out a few products that we do, every day in our kitchen, and then we're going to see how these countertops hold up after 48 hours. All right, we're gonna start off by pouring one of my favorite wines. Marble is a very porous stone, and with red wine, it's a very dominant color. So a lot of times, even if people don't intend to drip wine on their countertop, droplets do get on there and it will absorb into it, causing a stain, unfortunately. In the same color palette as the wine, we have ketchup that we're going to drizzle on here as well. Now we're going to test it out with some mustard.
And on the other side, we have some white vinegar. And while the white vinegar is clear and it doesn't have the colors as the ketchup, mustard, and wine, it contains a lot of acidic acid. And the acidic acid in the vinegar will actually eat into the stone, removing some of the layers off the top, which will create an etching effect. On this sample here, we're gonna squeeze some lemon juice onto one side. And similar effect as the white vinegar, there's not a lot of color here in the lemon juice, but there's a lot of acid, and that acid will actually etch out the stain. So while I don't usually open my Mexican Cokes this way, due to a lot of rentals in our market, a lot of clienteles that end up renting properties decide to open their beer and sodas like this. So with our soda that we're pouring on here, we have both a color to deal with as well as the acid. So leaving soda on your marble over a period of time is going to not only etch the stone, but it is also going to stain it.
We're going to let these sit for 48 hours and then stay tuned and let's see the results.
So it's been 48 hours since we've applied all of our products to our marble samples, and we're going to see what damage was caused by our common everyday kitchen items.
Unfortunately, it happens to all of us. After a glass of wine or two, we do tend to spill on our countertops. So check out some of the damages that just a little drop of a red blend caused seeping through our marble. And over on the left side, you can also check out what the ketchup stain did and the stains from the mustard.
And as well on the other side of the sample, we see the stains and the etching from the white vinegar. We could actually see some of the marble elements starting to etch out. And then on this sample here, we have our combination of lemon juice and soda. And as we can see as well, similar to the vinegar, the acid has caused some of the marble to etch, and you can see some of the marble particles floating on top of the liquid. And over here is the soda. We can see that it has not necessarily etched the stone like the acidic products, but it has provided a color stain due to the dye. So now we're gonna do a stain remover test using Matzenbagger's Liftoff. This is a product that we used on a recently completed commercial project where we removed some Sharpie marker from some quartz countertops that were stained in a hotel room. So we couldn't get our stain off with a paper towel, so we've moved on to a sponge to see if we can remove the stain. And it is working better, but as you can tell, the acids are definitely into the material. Where the lemon juice was, as you could tell, we started off with a polished piece of marble, and you can see the areas around where the lemon juice wasn't on it. We still have polishing, but the area where the lemon juice was is completely dull, so it has removed the polish from the stone. So now we're gonna give our Coca-Cola a wipe down. So the Coca-Cola cleans off a lot easier than our acidic lemon juice. However, we can see the area where the Coca-Cola was sitting, we have a brown circle or a brown area due to the dye of the liquid. So the reason this happens is marble, especially Italian marble, is soft in nature. and the acids and the dye from our everyday kitchen supplies is just much stronger than the marble minerals and Italian stone.
Okay, and now we're going to try to remove the wine. And as you can see, it's already set in so much over here, but we're gonna see what we can do to get that off. Much like the Coca-Cola, it has also set in and stained into the marble. So there's not a whole bunch that we can do at this point. Okay, and now we're going to try removing the ketchup. Oh, that's so thick and pasty. And this is why we don't leave ketchup sitting on the countertop for 48 hours. All right, so now that we've got that off, as you can see, you can definitely still see a little bit of it where it's turned, but honestly, not as bad as I thought that the ketchup was gonna be.
We have our white vinegar and our mustard, so we're gonna clean these off and see how they reacted to the marble. So when cleaning, we definitely recommend a marble safe product. There are products that are specifically designed to clean marble countertops, and you wanna make sure that the cleaning products that you are using do not have any acids in them. So I could tell just when wiping this off, the difference between the areas that had the vinegar on the marble and the areas where the vinegar wasn't. The etch was that bad. And if you stand back and see on this, you can clearly see a big circle where the vinegar was, and the surrounding areas are still polished. The vinegar has completely removed the polish from this marble. So now we're going to take off our mustard. And now, as we remove our mustard from the marble, we have a slight color stain that is in there, as well as we have a lot of etching due to the acids in the mustard. So as we can tell by our experiment, that many of our common kitchen items that we all have in our pantry and cupboard can cause a lot of damage to our marble countertops. But there are ways in which you can prevent this or fix this if this were to happen to your polished marble countertops.
To prevent these stains from further happening, there are a few options out there that can go into place. One of them, I believe, is one of the most efficient ones, and that's going to be a protective film that's very similar to the same ones that are used on car wraps. And basically how that goes is whenever we install the countertops, then you'll have a company come out and they will install that wrap over top of the countertops, and it prevents future stains and etching from happening.
So in the event you were to etch or stain your countertops, there is really only one solution to take care of the issue, and that is to completely hone your countertops. So if you already have honed countertops, you're gonna just basically get a fresh new look. If you have polished countertops, we would have to remove the polish from all of your countertops to create an even look throughout the kitchen.
In summary, try not to do this to your countertops.
But if you were to, there are some solutions to help you solve your problems. Marble still maintains an ultra luxurious and beautiful finish for your home. So don't be completely afraid to use it in your next beautiful project. Here at Emerald Coast Fabrication, we stock many marbles from all over the world in stock for your viewing pleasure, for you to decide if you love them for your next project.
Like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you soon for your next project.